Hello everyone, Mythic here, and welcome to another Lucium update video. We are now doing Lucium 3.5 update videos, rather than 3.0 update videos like we've been doing for the past 2 years. Now, before we start, I would ask you all to please excuse the whirring in the background. That is my fan, because it is extremely hot here. I know the majority of our audience is European, so I converted the Celsius into I converted the Fahrenheit into Celsius, and it is 38 outside, so I am in desperate need of a fan. So you're going to have to deal with that, because I care about me more than I care about you. And with that lovely intro out of the way, let's actually talk about what changed in this update. So there are a litany of changes, and as you all know, litany is my favorite word for describing a big number. Now, one of the most immediate things you might notice, which you might have seen, well, you would have definitely had to see during my intro, is this new menu. So this menu was designed by Benison. He is a community member. I will mention that in the rest of the video. Don't ask how I know, it's just the power of foresight. But this menu is completely new. We've also added a new background image, of course. We've got good old Fred here. And we've just got a really nice new menu. We've got the eagle in the background, and this has also been carried over to Boulevards 2.0 as well, so you'll see that later on in the video. Now, and the things we've done range from graphical changes, so different pictures, portraits, victory condition screens, to resources. We have a massive resource overhaul, which definitely improves the map. We have a bunch of minor changes that improve the general look of things, and we've also added a bunch of landmark locations and buffed a few units. So, without further ado, let's hop in to the game. And as per usual, before we actually hop into the game, let's talk about a few on the surface changes that we did, starting off with the new flags. So as you may notice, we talked about our new factions, which would be the Elective of Hanover here. So you have the Electorate of Hanover, you have the new Hanoverian flag, and the Landgraviate of Hesse-Kassel, and so you have the Hesse-Kassel flag as well. We also made a higher quality version of Austria's flag, a new Wallachia-Moldavia flag, and a new Islet of Egypt flag. So all of these have been reduxed, and we think they fit the theme a lot better. And another benefit of these new flags is that all of the flags now look a lot better on high definition computers. So for me, I have a 2K monitor, which is a lot different than the monitor that, for instance, your boy uses. Your boy uses a monitor that is half the resolution of mine. And so we wanted to make sure that our images cater for people with monitors of any size. And now that sounds like we're doing some disability diversity initiative. we care about everyone, but we really do. And so just to make sure that there's no real blurry stretches, what we've done is we've gone in and made these images look a lot better for people on higher resolution. We have gone and redone all of the ancillary pictures over here, and also the ancillary names. So there are a bunch of just new ancillaries, and we've also gone in and added a lot more ancillaries for starting people. So as you can see, Prince Louis le Dauphin has Architect, and King Louis has a biographer. This man, Louis Capet, has a loyal servant and a biographer too, and we've done this across the entire map with a bunch of factions. We have also implemented the Benison unit cards. So as some of you may have known if you're in the Discord server, or if you've seen it on the ModDB, we recently had a submod called Ben's Unit Pack, I believe that's the name, but it is a submod that adds unit cards from one of our community members named Benison, and we believe that he did such a great job that we plan to add them into Lucium 3.5, which is exactly what we've done here. So these have been done for every faction, as you can see, and we've also scaled the ship pictures down to match the Benison unit cards as well, so everything looks a lot nice and very uniform. Another thing we can do, as you can see here, we've done a massive captain portrait overhaul. So a lot of the captain portraits and the general portraits still looked very 1600s, which we were not massive fans of, so we went in and we did it all. There are specific cultural ones too, so there's different German ones, there's different British ones, different French ones, different Austrian ones, different Polish ones. So we've done a lot of diversity on that, and we've just basically did a massive portrait redux, which looks very nice now and definitely fits the 17 to 1800s theme a lot better. Now, one thing you may have noticed in the background, the more astute viewers might have seen that we have a lot of little things dotted all around the map. Well, these are our new resources. So we have livestock, we've got grain, we've got, I'm trying to find some more, we've got just a standard little village, we have a different kind of village, we have fish. If we were to go for, say, all the way over here in Russia, you might see deer and elk, and then you've also got timber. Over here in the Middle East, you can see where the roads end. You've got villages too, and we feel like this is a nice little neat touch that kind of makes the world feel more alive. and then you've got luxury goods. Now, luxury goods and deer and elk are from the stainless steel improvement project, and a lot of these other resources are from just other mods that we borrowed from, and we feel like they make the map just look a lot better. They definitely spice things up. They actually make the map look like a developed, lived-in place. And to further that developed, lived-in feeling, we've also added roads to a lot of starting regions as well. We know that a lot of people complained that there weren't that many roads at the start, and we thought that also didn't make that much sense because, of course, Western Europe was exceptionally well developed at this time. So we've gone and we've put roads in a lot of the starting regions, and we've just filled the map out with a lot of these new resources. So as you can see over here in the UK, you've got them little villages dotting the landscape. And to provide more interest in the campaign, we've also put strategic forts across the map. We're hoping this is going to make conquesting a lot more fun, as you have to go deal with these little pockets of resistance in case you take a region, or just advance the front by taking these forts all together. This is, tied into the forts we've already added here in the Middle East, and just generally around the map there are more forts. Now, onto our buildings. So one of the things we've done is landmark buildings. So there are these landmark buildings in a bunch of important locations all around the map. We've got the paintings for them, and we've got the bonuses for them, as well as a nice description about them. And these are everywhere. We are not finished with them. We're going to be adding a lot more, but these are the ones we've got now. We've got the ones for Spain, France, the UK, and I believe some in Germany, though I'd have to be fact-checked on that one. And so like we have the vineyards at Bordeaux, we have the old port of Marseille, we have the Orleans Cathedral, we have Westminster Abbey, we have the University of Oxford. We just have a lot of these all around the map, and we plan on continuing to add them to the map just so that they're a very nice touch to add more detail. Furthering onto detail, one of the things we've done, which you may also be able to see down here, is we've changed the color of the frames around these to show that they aren't buildings. So buildings are going to have the characteristic yellow frame, landmarks are going to have the blue frame, and these are going to have the green frame. And to further that, we have seen some instances where people are confused and see the convert to minor fortification or convert to town as a policy building. So to differentiate it from the policies, we've also given it a brown frame. Now, speaking of that, something you will definitely have seen by now is we have gotten new art. This has been done by community member Majesty, who has come in and done a lot of great art for us, and we're going to continue to show some more of his art later on in the update video. But as you can see, he's come in and reduxed all of these, and they look amazing. He's also done them for Boulevards, and they look great, which we will show later. And another thing he's done is this very lovely map that we showed earlier on in an announcement today, or yesterday, I suppose. It's being recorded today, but it was yesterday when this will be released. As you can see, it is a map. This is going to be the victory conditions, so if you give me a second, we will go in as a German nation, and then an Italian nation. I'll show you what it really does a good job of. So we had our original formable nation maps, and now, to hopefully underscore the formability of these nations, we've gone in and we've put the flag for the formable nation inside of the victory conditions. So as you can see, this is all part of what would be Germany, and this is going to be what you need to take to do it. And the same goes for Italy and Scandinavia. Now that we're on Denmark, this gives me an opportunity to segue into the next segment. We have made Denmark a custom and historical family tree, and we've also done this for Westphalia. Sorry, not Westphalia, we've done this for Hanover and Hesse-Kassel as well, which we actually did show in upcoming features, I believe. But we definitely enjoy putting these historical family trees in because it adds to the aesthetic of Lucium and the goal of further accuracy in the places we can, because as you know, we always put gameplay over historical accuracy, but whenever we can do a little more historical accuracy without affecting gameplay, we do try to do that as well. Now, while we're on the map, we can actually look here, and we've done a bunch of color reduxes too. So the addition of Hanover adds another yellow nation onto the map. So to try to make them different from Austria, what we decided to do was we made Austria a little more greenish, a little brighter, and to offset that extra green and the green that we did with Hesse-Kassel, we decided to go in and make Bavaria blue, and blue Bavaria is much nicer, I'd say. It's kind of green Bavaria with sort of yellow Prussia levels of cursed, and if you understand that reference, then I love you. But yeah, we've got blue Bavaria now. Not the proper Bavarian blue, but certainly a much nicer color, more pleasing on the eyes. And we've also gone in and made all of the big red nations a lot more different as well, because for a while, Denmark and Norway, Venice and the UK were pretty similar. So now, as you can see, there is a big color difference here, and a color difference between Venice and the UK, which is much appreciated for some of us who are colorblind. me and the lead dev included, so I guess it's our own little pandering moment. Another nation which received a color change would also be Wallachia, Moldavia, which is a bit more brown now, but it definitely looks a lot different from Austria, which in my mind makes it look a lot better. Another new feature we've added is the addition of Muslim princesses. So one of the things in Lucium is we have a very big emphasis on the families and the dynasties now, as well as these inheritable traits such as Arab, and the other traits that we have like Serbian, British, French, Spanish, you know, and stuff like Habsburg as well. So the Europeans are much more easily accessible to get to these traits because they can actually crossbreed them by marrying into other royal families. However, the Muslim factions did not have that same ability because they did not have princesses. However, now they do. We've added in this lovely princess model, and now all Islamic nations can have princesses too, which is a feature that was oddly missing from base game Medieval 2. Not sure why, but maybe there's just some reason we don't know. And again, taking a look at these beautiful Benison unit cards, we do love them. Also, while we're on the subject of portraits and cards, we have changed Tsar Peter the Great's portrait because the old one just didn't really fit the theme we were going for. Our lead Devi boy has also gone in and added custom Imam portraits as well, just to fit the new theme. Some of them do look pretty similar because they were probably taken from the same portrait in reality, but they all look pretty good, they all work, and we're all very pleased with them. These are also going to be carried over to Boulevards in the form of the teachers, not these portraits in specific, but I mean a general redux for our religious figures and other agent portraits as well. Now, if you go into the battles, you might notice that there is a new map called Strangely Shaped Rock. This was also done by Benison. It is a custom fort map. We've been experimenting with creating custom battles and trying to create interesting designs around them by using the in-game Medieval 2 tools. And so as you can see here, the map it is actually a pretty good, I'd say, imitation of what a fort would look like at this time period. Of course, we're using the limited tools at our disposal, but I think it looks good, and he has made more updated versions which may be added later in the future. Now, finally, to cap off the European section of our video, we have buffed the light infantry. So light infantry has been buffed by a missile stat of 4. They also have slightly better accuracy, which we hope will make them more viable for their role as skirmishers. As you can see, the new menu that I mentioned earlier had also been moved over to Boulevards is here too, and this beautiful man is framed in all of his battle glory. Now, in Boulevards, none of the new factions have been added yet, but they have begun work in the last week, so now all of the new factions are going to be added very soon. And so there are just some minor changes that happened in Boulevards this update. The main updates to Boulevards aren't going to occur until the next few weeks, so basically once the factions are added in the next few weeks. Then we're going to really begin work with Boulevards en masse, but for now there have been a few changes which I would like to talk about. For instance, the major change, which I know is going to make a lot of people very happy, the much-hated snow in Argentina has finally been removed, so everyone can stop talking about the snow in Argentina. And really, it's fine. I'm not mad. It's driving me crazy now. But now, before I get everyone scared that I've gone schizophrenic, I have. But yes, the snow has been removed from Argentina, everybody. I hope you are much relieved. As far as I am, very relieved as well. Now, moving into a few other things, we've done a lot of mobility changes in this specific update. So, for instance, what I mean by mobility is you can now successfully navigate Mexico. Before, there were a lot of blockages, meaning you couldn't really get to places in Mexico. We fixed this, so now there are plenty of paths to move around. You can go all the way up the coast you want, or you can go through the mountains, trek through the central Mexican valley, or just go into the deserts and do whatever you want. Now, this is good because obviously we want players to be able to walk around the map. Speaking of walking around the map, you can see that we've added a bunch of crossings to the Antilles as well as the other islands like the Turks and Caicos. We've added some over here in Puerto Rico, and I think we added one over here, one over here in Cuba, and then one over here in Central America. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a similar thing we did to the Aegean in Europe, and we are going to put strategic forts and watchtowers on these to make it a more dynamic area for gameplay purposes and to have strategic value, other than just being a few regions out in the middle of the ocean. Another major change coming to Boulevards is the addition of more resources as well. We have not pulled over the village resources and all of the new resource models that we have in Europe at the moment, but that is coming. However, for the moment, we have a lot of great resources added in by our newest mod team member in training, Kieran, who's gone in and accurately added all of these in by actually getting a map for it, so very much dedication to the cause. And he's going to continue re-adding more of these all across the South America map in places that have sparse resource density. Now, while we understand that there are a lot of Boulevards fans, I am very sorry this was not quite the juicy Boulevards update you were all looking forward to. However, like I said, in the next few weeks we are going to really kick the Boulevards development into high gear, so there's going to be a lot more content on Boulevards in the future, and a lot less content on Europe, which may disappoint the European fans. However, we've done a lot in Europe, and we're still going to be doing a lot in Europe. We have the complete Middle Eastern unit redux we need to do. We are working on mercenaries, and we are just working on more landmark buildings, so there's going to be a lot of new stuff added to Europe, and there's going to be a lot of stuff added to South America. Anyway, guys, we thank you so much for supporting the mod and sticking with us in these 2 months of silence and just the general chaos that is development. And thank you for watching. Remember to join the Discord server. If you have not downloaded the mod for whatever reason, I highly encourage you to go download the mod from our ModDB. Link in description, Discord in description. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Mythic and the entire Lucium dev team, out.